You know, but they called it Blue Hole because there was an area that was fenced off like a ranch-style fence all around it, and I'd say it was probably maybe 45 yards across, and it was a hole like water, and it was almost round, but it was water, and it was black. The water was black, even when the sun shined on it. It didn't reflect any color or blue. It was black, and they called it the Blue Hole. Okay? It was kind of like dark blue, I guess. It was a real dark blue. But anyway, there had been, when you go to visit the place, they have somebody that tells you about it, and they got a thing there you tell you can read. Scuba divers have been down there using long hoses and stuff for oxygen to go down deep. They've never ever found the bottom.
I know.
And they can't find the bottom. And they think that it goes to the center of the earth, is what they believe. And you know, that's what maybe that's what their tourist push is. They think it's a hole goes to the center of the earth.
About where was this? Where?
In Bucyrus, Ohio. Okay. You could go there to visit. It's a tourist spot.
Okay.
You know? Mm-hmm. But it's called the Blue Hole. But I guess there's been scuba divers down that went down there with, and you know, deep as they could possibly go, and they never do find the bottom. You know?
Well, somebody said that they've been able to go only 7 miles down in the earth. So I don't know how far down they can go into an ocean. I mean, into this hole that you're talking about. Then I have a question, and this is, you haven't answered this one yet. But how often I don't mean to change the subject, but that's why I want to be able to watch this again. How often was your dad bringing the supplies to Area 51 in that B-51?
Weekly.
Really?
Weekly.
And there was more than one plane that came? Or was he the only one?
He don't know.
He doesn't know.
But he once weekly he made the trip.
Okay.
Yeah, weekly he made the trip.
Now did he have something loaded when he went back to California? Did he fly back empty or?
No, he would fly back. He would fly back on a plane. He wouldn't be the pilot though. He would be on a plane flying back to California.
By somebody else.
By somebody else. Yes.
Okay, and he would fly the loaded plane to the Area 51.
Right.
Now the reason why I say now, so you're saying he went to California and he got these ships.
And every time he would go back to California, they would take him straight to a hospital.
What?
Yeah, they had to go into the hospital for a test.
Every time?
Every time.
Every week?
Every time he would fly back from Area 51, they was in the hospital for tests. Every time. And my mom always thought that was odd. You know. She said she asked my dad, "Are you carrying radioactive material?" You know. My dad said, "I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that I hate to even think about it, but." You know, I'd sit at the table and me and my mama would talk about the Bible every now and then, you know. But I wasn't raised in a church family.
No, I know.
Okay. I was 11 years old before I ever went to a church. And me and my mom, we would talk about Jesus now and then. She'd ask me questions. It's like I knew the answer, you know. Like, you know, like I asked myself, why is my mom asking me this? Don't she know this, you know? And sometimes my mom didn't know. But it was just things that I learned by reading the Bible. And sometimes, and every now and then, I remember one time saying something to my dad. My dad said, "Are you done? You two done talking about Jesus?" He said, "I believe in God and the Ten Commandments, and that's all I need. I don't need to believe in no Jesus." That's what my dad said. He believed in God, but he didn't believe in Jesus. You know? And when my dad died, me and my brothers, my dad was in the hospital. Me and my brother was in there with my dad for a while. And
how old was he when he died?
How old was my dad when he died? 72.
Okay.
He was 72. And me and my brother went down to get a cup of coffee in the cafeteria at the hospital. And we went down there 10 minutes. We come right back up. And the nurse stopped us when we got up there before we went into his room. And the nurse says, "We're sorry, your father just passed away." And first thing I said to the nurse, it said, "Did he go peacefully?" And the nurse said, they looked at each other, all three of them. And I said, "What?" Because the way they looked at each other, I knew something was wrong. And one of the nurses says, "David, your father got up. Your father was very ill. He couldn't hardly move in bed. But she said your father got up on his knees and was screaming, "Fuck you, devil! I'm not going with you."
Wow.
That's what he kept saying when he died. So I think the devil took my father.
Maybe not. Maybe
Well,
not.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
the way what the nurse
If he
said,
stood up to him,
the way he was acting, it's almost like my dad was trying to fight the devil to keep him going.
well,
And it makes me wonder because he did believe in Christ, but he said he did believe in God.
yeah,
And the devil is a god too.
yeah.
In his
Of this
own-
world is what,
He's the god of this world. Yeah.
Okay, I got one more question, then I'll leave you alone. Because this guy is so full of stories. I mean, he's had a you. Oh yeah. I mean, Okay, so it has something to do with that. You said that the supply on this plane came from shipping cartons.
Right. Because it had cargo numbers, what my dad called badges. And the number on there was a number that corresponded with a cargo container number off the ship.
But he was not permitted to go back and inspect anything in the back or any of that.
He had no way of getting in there.
No
was
way.
Secured.
Very secured. And all it was him and a co-pilot that you know of.
That's it.
And it was a short ride from California to...
He said they had no radio contact on that whenever they flew to the Area 51. There was no radio. They had no radio.
No ground contact.
They knew where they was going. They knew the altitude they had to fly, and that was it.
No communication while they're up in the air.
Even during a storm, no communication. Yep.
Okay.
My dad done that because he was appointed that job by our government because of what he did as a fighter pilot, on the missions that he did or something in World War II.
Okay, all right.
But my dad was a very quiet man. He hardly talked to people about anything,
Yeah.
He talked to you about the lottery or a football game. That was about all. But, I sat and they'd say things to my dad. And me and my dad, we had a strange relationship. We really did. I remember when I was 11 years old, he busted me in the mouth with his fist. And I got up and laughed at him. I mean, he hit me as hard as he could. He knocked me on my ass. And, in fact, I think I was knocked out for a minute or two. But you know why he hit me?
No.
I asked him a question. I was going through this stage in my life at 11 years old. I'd done been in an orphanage, and he's the one that adopted me, okay? He got me, and my real mother, he got me back to my real mother, and he married my mother. And I was going through puberty and dealing with life, and things that you deal with as you're growing up as a little kid. And I asked my dad one day, I said, "Dad, can you tell me something?" He says, "What?" Now, I'm 11 years old now, remember this. I said, "Could you tell me why, from the time I'm born, everybody is always telling me what to do. They telling me I got to go to school. They telling me I got to do this, I got to do it that way." He said, "Then I grow up." He said, "Then I get out of school, and then I meet some girl, and she's all sweet and makes me happy, and then we have a baby, and then I have to get married, and then I have to get a job to take care of them." I said, "And then I work for all my life to take care of my wife and my kid, or my kids." I said, "And then in the end," I said, "I die." I said, "What's life all about, Dad?" And he hit me.
That's weird.
He didn't know. He couldn't answer me.
Oh.
Because he didn't know.
That's
and you
weird.
don't know. You don't know. Today, you don't know.
No.
Why we go through what we go through and just to die. Well, I finally learned.
Oh.
Now you want to tell me what the hell this thing is?
From the time we're born till the time we die, we're here for one reason. To praise God. And to worship Him. He wants to be worshipped. He wants to be loved. And you love Him and He's going to love you. More abundantly than you can ever dream of being loved. And you can feel it in your heart. You know you can. And that's what life's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, and when Adam and Eve sinned here on earth, we're in living hell. Okay, because He's the ruler of this world we live in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we just have to learn to deal with it. And remember, God is with us. As long as you believe, He's going to protect you. Now, there's people out there that do some very wicked things, and people die, and harm comes to people, but only God will allow Satan, the devil, to allow that to happen to certain people. For there's a reason why God allows it. Okay? It's not for me to question. You know? Just like a lot of times somebody will have a child, and the child will be ill when it's born or whatever, and the Lord takes that child early, you know, a couple years maybe, you know, of its life. But maybe the Lord just don't want the child to suffer no more, you know. And you know, I believe in that, I really do. And then you have people who have lived through a living hell like I have in my lifetime. Things that I've seen. Some things I can't even talk about to nobody.
Right.
Okay? And I have to live with that until I die.
That's right.
You know? But the Lord knows my mind, the Lord knows my heart. And He helps me deal with it. But I have to remember, I'm only meat on a bone. I'm flesh. Okay? But altogether, I'm a spirit of God.
Yeah.
We are all spirit of God. And we don't know who God really is. Until we will one day. And it just makes me wonder, when I get there, what am I gonna see then?
Yeah, well,
We just don't know.
we don't know,
And just like you saying, we could be dealing with something from outer space.
well, you know,
Ultimately, in the end.
the reason why I am fascinated by what you said about the cigar-shaped ship that was a football.
Well, they called it a hot dog.
They called it a hot dog, but it was a football field long.
Yep.
Is
And
when
he said it kind of bowed like a hot dog.
okay.
You know, like a hot dog would be kind of sagging in the middle. And
Yeah, well, that's not what I saw. Yeah. When I was in Kansas, I saw 6 of these cigar things. And they were one right behind the other.
Probably about the same what my dad's talking about.
Way up in the sky. And we were living in Paola. And I call it the country house. And I called my husband out at the time. And I called my daughter. I went in the house. And I brought both. I said, come out.